Okay, thank you. Thanks for joining once again. So yesterday we have discussed some topics. I'll just recap quickly. Yesterday we started with selenium components, different versions of selenium. We discussed about different components of selenium. Then Java, how to install Java, introduction about Java, installation of Java, and how to set the path, environment path, everything we have seen. Then we have created one simple Java project using Eclipse. So Eclipse installation, and we have created the simple Java project in which we have configured the WebDriver using Selenium Java client. We have downloaded Chrome driver, and we have downloaded Selenium Java client. Then we have configured the uh, Selenium WebDriver in Java class, and it got. I mean, the initialization was success using Chrome driver. So this is what yesterday we have covered. Today we are going to start with the Java. You know how to install Java and configuration of Java. Everything was clear, I hope. Today onwards we'll start with Java. Oops, someone is talking. Okay, from today onwards we are going to start with Java OOPS concept. So what is OOPS is object-oriented programming structure. So OOPS means object-oriented programming structure. I mean, this is the method of method which gives the implementation to the program. I mean, different ways you can implement the program across different languages. But in Java, you have certain rules and regulations. So that will be termed under this concept, object-oriented programming structure. So in this we have different concepts like object. If it is an object-oriented programming language, then it should have object, then class, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation. So there are different object-oriented programming concepts like this: class, object, abstraction, inheritance, polymorphism, encapsulation, and also we will have method. You know what is method is. In C and C++, we will call it as function. So these are all the different object-oriented programming structure, and especially Java should follow all these things. So that is why we are telling Java is an object-oriented programming language. So we will start with object. What is object is? I think yesterday itself we have started, but anyway I'll repeat once again. What is object is? Object is basically a real-time entity. Each and everything that you are seeing physically, I mean physically you are seeing everything around the world, no? So each and everything in this world, real time, is called object. So all the programming should be oriented to object. If you are doing some program, then it should focus on the object of the logic. For example, if you want to program for a banking application, then under banking you will have different properties and the methods, different tasks to be performed. So that can be accessed using object. Real-time entity in technical world we can say is an instance of a class. Instance of a class. So we'll see what is class is, but in technical term we will call this object as instance of a particular class. So generally for example, we'll see there is a banking system. There is a banking. In banking, banking will have properties. Banking may have different properties. What are all the different properties of banking? Through banking, you can avail for different products, like you can open savings account, current account, FD account, RD account. And similarly, the same properties may have different tasks, different functions it may have. For example, in savings account, what are the things that you can do is you can block the account, block the card associated with savings account, and you can do fund transfer. So these are all the properties of the banking, and these are all the functions of the properties. These two can be accessed using object created for the particular thing that you are taking. I'm taking banking as an example. Banking may have different properties, different components. Each and every component will have some function or task. If you take human as an example, he may have name, color, height, weight, like this. And he may do some function as well, like he can run, he can eat, he can walk. All these things are functions. So these properties and functions of this class human can be accessed through object. So object is basically instance is nothing but a reference. Using this reference you can access the properties as well as the functions of a class. Got it? So this is the object in Java. Any doubts so far? So this is a conceptual approach. Just try to understand. When we are trying to implement the same in program, you will get a good idea about these. What is object and what is classes. Okay. Next, we are going to talk about class. So class is the second object-oriented concept. If the programming language is said to be an OOPS programming language, then it should have class as well, object and class. So class is basically a blueprint which gives you the instructions, like it will have some syntax, it should follow the syntax. That is class. So you should not randomly write like uh, like you wish. You should not write as your own. So it will have some syntax. So that syntax has to be followed. That syntax will be provided by the class. So this class may have different components like member variables and member variables and methods. So it may have variables and methods. If you look at this example, human as an example, name, color, height, weight are will have some value, right? So the one which is storing the value is called variable. So these are all the things, variables. And run, eat, walk, it defines a task or function of this class. So these are all things are called as methods, member variables and methods. So class should have member variables and methods. Yesterday we have seen how the class looks like. So if you want to write any class in Java, starts with the keyword class, then you have to define the class name. The first letter of the class name should be uppercase. There should be open phrases and should be closed accordingly. It may have member variables and methods. So each and every statement in a class should be ended with the semicolon. In Java, you should end each and every statement with colon. So this is how class looks like. You'll have methods and variables. So it's basically a blueprint where so these member variables and methods can be accessed using object created for this class. This if you're creating an object for this class, you can access the variables and methods. So this is about class. Yesterday we have seen how to create a class from Eclipse IDE. and we have written a step to configure the WebDriver. So this is the WebDriver configuration. This one we have written. So the set property is a method. So I told you, so this class may have different methods and variables. Here we are calling a method called set property, which is there inside this class system. So we are creating some reference variable for this interface. So this is about class. So next one is method. So we are going to study each and everything in detail, but I'm just giving some overview about these topics as of now. What is method is? Method is basically a function or task to be performed. So there are different types of methods available in Java that we are going to study in detail, but basic use of method is to perform some task. For example, if you want to run, so if human wants to run some, I mean, if you want to run, then that particular logic should be written from where to where you have to run, how many kilometers speed you have to run, like those things will be present under this method. So method defines the function or task to be performed. There are different types of methods like static method, non-static method, then abstract method. We will see in detail abstract method. There are three different types of methods: static, non-static, and abstract. So what is next one? So next one is abstraction. So any idea what is abstraction is? Hari, Sayed, Subha, just tell me something.
Different form,
Different?
different form.
Different form of
Uh, Methods also.
methods and
Methods and
Method hiding.
method hiding. Okay, let me explain you what is abstraction is. Have you, if you have downloaded some files from internet, mostly that will be in RAR format, RAR or compressed format. Have you ever seen a files like .rar or WinZip files, compressed files? If you want to open or read the content which is there inside this compressed zip or RAR, what you will do? Tell me.
we usually unzip it using WinRAR or some software
Yeah, yeah. We will be having some
extract the data.
software which will so what that software will do is it will simply extract the files, right? It will extract the file. Am I right? If you are downloading some files, I mean yesterday also we have downloaded something. I'll show you. So where is the downloads and so on? So this is the file which I have downloaded yesterday. Okay, it is in WinZip format, WinRAR zip archive, which means the files has been compressed into a small size, and this can be extracted. If you click, if you right click this, so it will ask you to extract files. If you want to read the files which is present inside this folder, you have to extract. Extracts mean some of the files have been hidden, some of the files have been bounded inside this particular folder. That thing is called as abstraction. So abstraction is nothing but bounding your files so that you can achieve the you can achieve hiding the properties, hiding the files basically. Okay, that is the if you have modern coffee machines have uh, become pretty complex now. So depending on your choice of coffee, they decide which of the available coffee beans to use, how to grind them. They also use amount of water and heat to require temperature to brew huge of coffee for a small or strong. So in a coffee machine you would have experienced, like uh, so they may have different coffee schemes available in a machine. If you select or if you select something, it will automatically grind, and a small amount of coffee powder will be applied, and it will add milk and it will add water, and it will heat to the required temperature, and it will look huge. Small amount of coffee powder becomes a big cup of coffee. So that is the process of abstraction. So basically, abstraction is to hide the data. Using abstract method created under each class, you can simply abstract. We are going to study what is POJO is. POJO class. There is a plain old Java objects. So that concept we are going to study. In that, you are going to study in detail about this abstraction. Example for abstraction is coffee machine, where you are putting a small amount of coffee powder, and which will grind and it will make a cup of coffee. So that is the process of abstraction. Or in this example also you can know, in this folder the files have been bound, I mean the files have been kept hidden, files have been kept shorter. Once you extracted this, you can see the entire files present inside this folder. That is the concept of abstraction. It is basically hiding the data that will not be directly available. So you have to do some extraction process to uh, get this abstracted data. That is the concept of abstraction. And next one is inheritance. So inheritance is the process of deriving the properties from one class to other. So what are all the properties is in a class, member variables and methods are the properties. These properties can be extended to another class. So it can be extended to another class. That process is called inheritance. Inheritance is a process of deriving or getting the properties from one class. So that is the process of inheritance. There are different types of inheritance we have seen yesterday. Simple inheritance or single inheritance, multiple inheritance, multi-level inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, then hybrid inheritance. So in Java, multiple inheritance is not possible. We are going to discuss in detail about these. What is single inheritance? Single inheritance means there is a one parent and one child. So one child can extract derive the properties from one parent. That is called a single inheritance. Multi-level means will be having different classes like grandparent, parent, and child. And hierarchical is a combination of these two, and hybrid. So hierarchical is the one in which we'll be having one parent and different child classes. Hybrid is a combination of these two. Multiple inheritance is not possible in Java. We'll see what is multiple inheritance is. So for each and everything I'm going to do some hands-on in uh, Java program. And the inheritance we have seen, what is polymorphisms. So polymorphism is a concept, one of the concept in object-oriented programming structure, in which one object can exist in different forms. That is called as polymorphism. In Java, polymorphism can be achieved through method overloading and overriding. So method overloading and overriding. So this is polymorphism. So polymorphism is basically one object can exist in different forms. Can you tell me any example for polymorphism? Any example? No idea. There are so two-side shirts available in the market, right? A shirt that can be worn in both the sides. I mean, both the sides will be having different colors. If I want to, for example, it has red and blue. It has red and blue. If I want to wear the shirt in red color, then you have to wear it on the color which is showing in red. You want to wear it at the rear end, it will show blue color. So only one shirt, but it is used to perform two different tasks. I mean, in two different way we are able to um, change it. So that is called as polymorphism. Only one object which is used to available in two or more different forms. That is called as polymorphism. Next, we will see what is encapsulation is. Encapsulation. Whose galaxy? Just a second. Someone is joining. Just a minute. Galaxy J7 Max. May know who is this? Syed. Okay, okay, Syed. Okay, Syed. No problem. So now we'll see what is encapsulation is. So encapsulation is also one of the object-oriented programming concept in which we will be wrapping the data. So all the variables and methods will be wrapped into single unit. So wrapped into single unit. That is called as encapsulation mechanism. So this can be achieved in Java if you want to um, have the encapsulation in your Java program. What you need to do is you have to keep all your variables as private. We'll see what are all those private, public, protected, everything. So you have to keep all your variables as private. Through this, you can achieve encapsulation. And for methods, you can provide getters and setters. Getter is for reading the value, setter is for assigning the value. So in this way, you can achieve encapsulation. So Java also provides you to wrap the data into a single unit. Okay. So these are all the different concepts of object-oriented programming structure. We are going to discuss each and everything in detail. You know how to before we start, you should know how to install Java and how to work with Eclipse. Any doubt so far, Syed, Hari, Subha?
Yep.
என்ன டவுட் இருக்கா இல்லை நமக்கு அந்த இது பார்க்கும்போது உங்களுக்கு தெரியும் ஓகேவா, நல்லா கிளியராகவே புரியும். நம்ம ஒன்றுக்கும் எக்ஸாம்பிள்
இன்ஸ்டாலேஷன்ல ஒரு டவுட் இருக்குண்ணா.
ஆ
ஜாவா எங்கிட்ட 64 பிட் இருக்கு. ஆனா நான் குரோம் வெப் டிரைவர் 32 பிட் இன்ஸ்டால் பண்ணா ஒர்க் ஆகுமா இல்லை 64 தான் எடுக்கும்?
ஒர்க் ஆகும் ஹரி. இப்போது உங்களோட ஆப்ரேட்டிங் சிஸ்டம்க்கு ஏற்ற மாதிரி தான் நீங்கள் டிரைவர் போடணும். இப்போது விண்டோஸ் 64 பிட் இருக்குன்னு வச்சுக்கோங்க. 64 நீங்கள் க்ரோம் டிரைவர் வந்து 32 பிட்டு தான் காமிக்கும். பட் ஆனால் அங்கே வந்து உங்களுக்கு அது காமன் தான். 32க்கும் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம், 64க்கும் யூஸ் பண்ணலாம். இது தானே சொல்கிறீங்க? selenium.devல டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஆப்ரேட்டிங் சிஸ்டம்க்கு டிரைவர் கொடுத்துருப்போம், அதுதானே சொல்கிறீங்க? அதானே ஹரி?
ஆமாண்ணா.
அது ஒர்க் ஆகும். அந்த 32 இருக்கு பாருங்கள், அது இப்போ டவுன்லோட் பண்ணால் ஒர்க் ஆகும் 64க்கு. அது வந்து ஜஸ்ட் ஃபார் ஐடென்டிஃபிகேஷன் ஆஃப் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் பிளாட்ஃபார்ம்ஸ், மேக்கு அந்த இது. ஸோ ஹரி என்ன சொல்கிறாருன்னா, இந்த ப்ரௌசர் இருக்குல்ல, இதில் க்ரோம் டிரைவர் நான் டவுன்லோட் பண்ண போகிறேன். பட் என்னோட மிஷின் வந்து என்னது விண்டோஸ் 64 பிட்டு. ஃபார் எக்ஸாம்பிள் 85 டவுன்லோட் பண்ணுறேன் அப்படின்னா 32 தான் இருக்குது, 64 இல்லை அப்படின்றாரு. பட் ஆனால் இதுவே போதும், இட் வில் ஒர்க். தேர் இஸ் நோ செப்பரேட் ஃபைல் ஃபார் க்ரோம் டிரைவர் 64 பிட். ஸோ இதுவே ஒர்க் ஆகும். என்னாச்சு சையத்? இப்போ இதில் எதுவும் டவுட்லாம் இல்லைல்ல? இது வந்து சும்மா ஒரு கான்செப்சுவல் அப்ரோச் தான். இதில் நம்ம எக்ஸாம்பிள் பார்த்தா தான் உங்களுக்கு புரியும் எப்படி இருக்குது அப்படின்னு தெரியும். ஓகே, நவ் we are going to discuss what is object is. ஆப்ஜெக்ட்னா என்ன அப்படின்னு பார்க்கலாமா? After the successful installation of Eclipse, you try to create the Java project. I'll close the existing projects. You just try to create the Java project. Simply click on file and create project. Create a Java project which will ask you to enter the project name. Enter the project name as you wish with Java practice and click on finish. Don't create module. So under this source folder, we are going to create a class. Simply right click, new, and create a class. So class name's first letter should be uppercase. And have the main method. So this is an example for object. Okay, how to create the object for this class and how to access different properties in this class. So I'm going to create a different methods under this class. For example, public void so automation, so manual UFT. This is how you need to create a method. Public void UFT, public void QTP, public void Selenium. So, so this is the class called automation. I have created a class called automation. Under this class, I have how many methods? I have 4 different types of methods. One is UFT, QTP, Selenium, and this one is main method. I told you in the yesterday class itself, whatever the statement that you are writing inside this main method alone will be executed. So your program execution in Java always starts from where? This main method. Whatever the code that you write here, the same will be executed, and it will give you the output. Whereas it will not, execute remaining things. Let me print something so that it will be very useful for it. I'll print some statement like, so this is UFT. So this is main method. This one is Selenium. This one is QTP. So if you run this program, what it will do is it will simply execute the thing which is there inside this main method. Simply right click and run this Java application. So it is just printing this, and this is the main method. So this is main. So whatever the statement that you have written under this main method, same has been printed. How to call these methods? How to call these other methods we have in this class, like UFT, QTP, Selenium. So to access these methods or member variables if you have in the say this class out of the main method, then you need to create an object. You need to create an instance. Instance of this class should be created to call each and every method. How to create an object? Let us see. Object creation will have some syntax. What we are going to do is we are going to access member variables and methods inside this class like this. If I have int a is equal to 10, so this is variable and this one is method. How to access those methods? Let us see. So object creation has some syntax. How to create an object for a class? So it starts with class name, object name is equal to new. So new is the keyword which is used to uh, create the object basically, and class name of this is your constructor. We'll see what is constructor is. So this is your class name, this is your object name. So whatever the name that you want you can give, and new is a keyword, class name of is the constructor. Okay, this one is constructor, default constructor. So we will see the importance of constructor later. So this is how I need to create an object. Under this main method, I can create an object for this class. What is the class name? Class name is automation. Object name, whatever the object name that you need, you can give is equal to new automation of. This one is constructor. So using this object created for this class, you can access all the methods. So I'm going to access how to call the methods using the object is. This is the object I have created. Dot. If you put dot, so automatically it gives the visibility to A. What is A? A is variable, right? A is variable. And QTP. What is QTP? QTP is method. Selenium is method. UFT is method. So it is giving the visibility to this entire class properties. So using this object created for this class, you can access member variables and methods. If I print, if I call UFT, UFT will be print. So the statements written under the method UFT will be printed. And if you call QTP object dot selenium, so this is the way you can create a class for the object. You can create the object for a class. Using the object, you can call different methods. If you run this program, so first main method sysout statement is getting printed, then object was created. After the object creation, it is calling UFT method. If you press control, you will get this hyperlink. If you click this, it will go to this method. So under this UFT, what all the statements we have written, that will be printed. We have written only one statement to print. This is UFT, and then this is QTP, and this is Selenium. So this is object creation for a class. So this is a syntax for creating an object. Any doubts so far, Hari, Sayed? கொஞ்சம் ரீஜாயின் பண்ண முடியுமா ஹரி? டைம் முடிய போகுது. சையத், எனக்கு இது மட்டும் முடிய போகுது. கொஞ்சம் ப்ளீஸ் ரீஜாயின் பண்ணி.